On February 28, 2026, Iranian state television interrupted its programming. The anchors were in tears. After nearly 4 decades at the top of power, Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei was dead. For 37 years, he ruled one of the most powerful and controversial regimes in the Middle East. To his supporters, he was the guardian of the Islamic Revolution. To his critics, he was the architect of repression and regional conflict. But who was Ali Khamenei really? How did a quiet cleric from a religious family become one of the most powerful men in the world? And what does his death mean for Iran and the Middle East? This is the full story. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was born on April 19, 1939 in Mashhad, Iran, one of the most holiest cities in Shia Islam. He came from a deeply religious background. His father was a cleric, and from a young age, Khamenei was immersed in religious studies. As a young man, he moved to Qom, Iran's center of Shia scholarship, where he studied under influential clerics, including the man who would later transform Iran forever, Ruhollah Khomeini. In the 1960s and 70s, Iran was ruled by Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah. The Shah pursued modernization and close ties with the West, but many religious figures saw this as corruption and moral decay. Khamenei became involved in underground religious activism. He was arrested multiple times. He was tortured, but he remained committed to the revolutionary cause. By the late 1970s, Iran was on the brink of explosion. In 1979, everything changed. Mass protests swept across Iran. The Shah fled the country, and Ruhollah Khomeini returned from exile to establish what became the Islamic Republic of Iran. Khamenei quickly rose in importance with the revolutionary system. He became a key member of the new power structure. Then came war. In 1980, Saddam Hussein's Iraq invaded Iran. The Iraq-Iran war would last 8 brutal years. Khamenei served in senior defense positions and built close ties with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, an institution that would later become central to his power. But in 1981, he nearly died. A bomb exploded during a speech he was giving. He survived, but the blast severely injured his right arm, leaving it partially paralyzed for life. That same year, he was elected president of Iran. In 1989, the founder of the Islamic Republic, Ruhollah Khomeini, died. Iran faced a leadership vacuum. Few expected Ali Khamenei to take over. He was not the highest-ranking cleric. He did not hold the senior religious title traditionally required, but political calculations mattered more than religious hierarchy. On June 4, 1989, he was chosen as supreme leader. From that moment on, Ali Khamenei became the most powerful man in Iran. The supreme leader controls the military, the judiciary, state broadcasting, intelligence services, and has final say over major national decisions. Even presidents answer to him. Khamenei began consolidating power quietly but steadily. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Khamenei strengthened the security state. When reformist politicians gained popularity, he limited their authority. When protests erupted, they were suppressed. In 2009, millions of Iranians took to the streets after a disputed election. This became known as the Green Movement. Security forces cracked down hard. Journalists were arrested, opposition leaders were placed under house arrest, demonstrations were crushed. But perhaps the biggest internal challenge came decades later. In 2022, after the death of Mahsa Amin in morality police custody, nationwide protests erupted under the slogan, "Women, Life, Freedom." For months, Iran faced unrest unlike anything seen in years. The government responded with force. Hundreds were killed. Thousands were detained. Khamenei stood firm, insisting that foreign enemies were behind the unrest. If domestically Khamenei ruled with iron discipline, internationally he projected defiance. He maintained deep hostility toward the United States and Israel. He supported regional allies and proxy groups across the Middle East. Iran expanded influence in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Gaza. He oversaw Iran's nuclear program, insisting it was peaceful. In 2015, Iran signed a nuclear agreement with world powers, but tensions never fully eased. Sanctions returned. Regional clashes intensified. By the mid-2020s, the Middle East was once again on edge. In early 2026, tensions escalated dramatically. Reports of military strikes and rising confrontation filled global headlines. Then, on February 28, 2026, Iranian state media confirmed the unthinkable. Ali Khamenei had been killed in a targeted strike in Tehran. He was 86 years old. State television declared 40 days of mourning. Crowds filled the streets in some cities. Others waited silently, uncertain about what would come next. After nearly 4 decades in power, the era of Khamenei was over. Ali Khamenei leaves behind a deeply divided legacy. To supporters, he preserved the Islamic Republic, he resisted Western pressure, he strengthened Iran's regional power. To critics, he suppressed dissent, limited freedoms, and governed through fear. His 37-year rule reshaped Iran's political system and the balance of power in the Middle East. Now, the question is not just who replaces him, but what kind of Iran emerges next. Only time will tell. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe for more in-depth global political documentaries.